I would like to say there is a edited volume which is coming out from this particular conference, and that edited volume is going to be part of our one of the book series called Advances in Sustainability and Technology and Science, and that is a nice way of another way of publishing extended version of papers, or rather original papers in a book. So I thought, why not talk to you guys about the journey of a book, what exactly we need from you all when you want to write a book. So that will be a good information, a quick one and useful one. Before I go into that, there is a small thing which I would like to tell you about, because I come from this company called Springer, and Springer is a company which started in 1842 by a person called Julius Springer. The photograph of Julius you can see here. He started this company in 1842 at a very young age. He started a shop, actually a small bookshop, and then he started working with people who are coming there to buy books. The scientists at that point of time, mostly they used to do self-publication. They never used to go to publishers. Very seldom they go to publishers, and they were actually taking their work to different conferences, doing different discussions. They are disseminating their own work in their own ways. So Julius Springer started talking to them, and started a small shop. From that shop, he started moving to publication of those books. After the First World War, we moved out. We started, actually, we ventured out of Germany a little, and we went to Vienna. We started an office there. After the Second World War, we actually opened one of our biggest office, which is like Heidelberg. Heidelberg is the editorial hub of Springer Nature. Springer Nature, because in 2015, Springer and Macmillan Science and Education with Nature Publishing Group coming there, we started a company called Springer Nature, which is just 5-year-old. So the strength of Springer has increased a lot. We have 10,000 plus colleagues now, and we have 50 countries we are in right now. And Nature is also one of the most cited, which is journal is part of the portfolio. So this is a little bit about Springer. Without wasting any particular time, I would like to move. So few interesting facts about books, and then we will go to the steps. The first fact, the first printed material which humankind is actually known to is a Festos disc. It is a symbol, it's stamped. It's not actually carved. If you see, these are stamped things. And before that, carving was done. This is the first thing which was done almost 3870 years ago, 1815, before Common Era. Minoan civilization people, they have done it. And this is a stamped thing. This is the first initiation of something to do with book. The oldest printed book which was there is Diamond Sutra, which is a wood block printing. And this is a finest printing which was available at that point of time. And very few books used to be printed by this style. And it used to take a lot of time to print books by woodblock printing, because you have to create the block, you have to write the block completely. Then with that block, you have the imprint. The whole scenario changed with this person whom you can see on your slides over here. It's Johannes Gutenberg. He is the father of modern printing. He is a German craftsman and inventor of the first printing press in Western world in 1454. Before 1454, the world has only 30,000 books. And with this particular revolutionary invention, we right now have trillions and trillions of books. The first book which was actually printed by Johannes Gutenberg was a 42-page Bible. But after that, many books were printed by using those methods, and he is known as the father of modern printing. Now, as Springer Nature, if we see what exactly Springer Nature is doing in academic book publishing, it is the largest academic book publisher in the world. We are talking about academic books. We are not talking about non-academic here. So we are really the largest publisher. We publish books across all research areas, from science, technology, and medicine to the humanities and social sciences. We started with mathematics and engineering long back, but we moved to general science, then we moved to all parts of science. And in the last 30 years or so, we really moved to humanities and social sciences also. In 1 year, we published 13,000 new books, which is a very big number, and we are far ahead of our competitors. There are more than 3 lakh books available online, and these are all available on our platform called Springer Link. We are one of the pioneers in digital book publishing because we are the first who started with digital book publishing. We started with digital journal publishing in 1995, but 2005 onwards, almost 15 years ago, we started with this uh, activity of making all books online available. And then we also went back to 1842 and started picking up books for putting them into our archives. So right now we have more than 3 lakh books, which is available on our Springerlink platform. Okay, now I would like to tell you what are the 5 steps which are important when you want to publish a book, how it starts and where it goes. It starts with an idea. It's an idea which comes to the mind of an author. That is the first thing which, creates or ignites or, switches on the bulb which is there. So you have an idea. Now the idea, from that idea, if that idea is very good, then you have something new for the future readers. But if that idea is really unique and that's a very good idea, then it fills the gap between the current literature. And that is the most important thing or the most important aspect a book is actually the book does. Because when you are studying the literature, then you will see that there are certain gaps in literature. Now, these gaps needs to be fulfilled, and new books are basically doing that. All unique idea books are basically fulfilling the gaps between the current literature. When you have this idea, now you have to formalize that idea into a proposal. How a proposal is made. First thing, how you can send this proposal to publishers, maybe to Springer or any other publisher also. These are very necessary things. These are the important things which you have to share. First is the CV, your biodata, biography, and the list of publications you already have. Second is synopsis of the book. Synopsis of the book is very important. It is actually talking about the book. Mostly I have seen the authors makes a mistake over here. They write about the subject and not about the book. What exactly you have to do, you have to write about the book. What exactly the book is going to come up with, what all things are included in the book, how it is beneficial for the readers. This is something which you have to involve in synopsis of the book. Then table of contents. Table of contents is the content which is structured, and the structure you have to provide how your book will look like. And importantly, I would like to highlight over here, many people say this is the index also, but this is not index. Table of contents and index are two different, very different things. Index is something which is the compilation of important words at the end of the book, but table of contents is the structure of the book. Then, along with all these things, you have to give sample chapters. Sample chapters are not the samples which you have written previously for a different book. Many people do that. Send a sample chapter, they send a chapter which they have already published with the book. No, sample chapter is a chapter which is for the proposed book, what you have written. With the sample chapter, it becomes much easier for the publisher and the reviewer to understand that. So when you have all these aspects ready with you, then you have the proposal ready with you, which goes to the next stage. That is the third step. In third step, what all steps are included. So you have the proposal ready, you have sent the proposal to the publisher. Now the publisher will evaluate the proposal. How he is going to evaluate? He is going to go to the next stage, which is peer reviewing, sending it to the subject expert. Now subject expert will check, and after checking, either they will come up with some revision or they will accept the product. Now once there is an acceptance, there is a legal contract. The contract signing between the author or the editor and the publisher. So there is a contract. Now contract signing is done. So after the contract signing is done, then we give it for author package comes to you. Now what exactly is author package? This is a kit which is coming from our project management team. These are the guidelines, these are the templates, and these are different, you should say, the way you will actually format your work, the way you will actually deal with your references, how you can cite them. So all these guidelines and templates will be given to you in the form of an author package. Once you have this author package, you can actually create the book which you are writing in your, maybe in your own laptop in a format. So that can be done, and it can be changed into a manuscript. Once the manuscript is ready, then you come to the fourth stage, which is like your production team will take over from here. So from the manuscript, what we get from you, we make an XML file. XML file means we create a file with a lot of taggings. Why we need to tag all the file? Because in digital world, your book needs to be published in different formats. It's not only the print format, it has to be readable on Kindle, it has to be readable on iPad, it has to be readable on any smartphone, and all these different platforms have different type of taggings. So we have to have a general tagging first, which is XML tagging, and then from XML tagging we can create different taggings. So the book, which is like a manuscript, which is might be a Word file, which is coming from you, is getting tagged and changed to an XML file, and finally it is getting published and it is going to different formats, print as well as digital. So once you have this digital thing ready and the book is ready, the last step is how we will share it out. Now, the important thing is we have two platforms over here in Springer. One is called springer.com, which is a dedicated web page for all. It's a home page of book is normally appears here. The moment you give us the proposal, but the moment you give us the manuscript, we create the homepage of your book and it is appearing on springer.com with a ISBN. ISBN is a tagging which a number which is uniquely dedicated to your book. Then we have another platform which is called Springer Link. Springer Link is the content platform where the content is available after it gets published. And 10,000 plus institutions are basically have members of this platform and they have access to this book. Whosoever is buying or whosoever is subscribing these packages, they have access to these books. Beside Springer.com and Springer Link, we have distribution from third parties like Amazon, iTunes, and all. And also we have many author support, like we do covers and flyers. We'll go to all the conferences. We have different newsletters. We have blogs. We have different marketing channel partners where we really work with very hard with them so that the books reaches the reader. That is the most important part because your book needs to be disseminated to the correct readership. Then only people will read the book. Then only people will cite the book. And once the citation is done, then only your credibility increases and you get the credit for writing the. Two important things I will just touch upon before I conclude my presentation. One is you can now do open access book. Open access book is a very good book, a good way of writing a book because it gives you 7 times more downloads, it gives you 50% more citations, and it gives 10 times more online mentions. Recently we have completed 1,000 OA books on our platform. With OA books, definitely the copyright remains with author, so there are definite benefits of writing an open access book. But at the same time, open access book, there is a charge attached to it, there is a price attached to it, and this is called book publishing charges, or which you have to pay, is an author pay model. So there are different funders and different sponsors available. If you go to the open access page on springer.com, you will find there are many funding bodies who will be there to help you. Finally, I will just talk about this Springer Nature video. This is a very, very new platform, which is there. We can actually write a book in the form of a video. I would encourage you to go to this page on springer.com and see how different Springer Nature videos are written. This is a very interesting. I am currently working with few people, and this is a very new format. So it's a new thing, and I think it's a good thing for all new researchers and new scholars who work in this format. Before I say thank you, my only message to you all is work sincerely, focus on quality, say no to academic corruption. The moment you are not part of any corruption, you stay happy. Thank you so much for patiently hearing me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with you. This is my email ID. If you want to talk to me later, if you want to write to me, I will be very happy in case you have any questions, because we don't have any time for questions over here, but definitely we may be having questions later, but I will be happy if you just write to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bose, and it was really a pleasure to hear you